all of you that the topic is act, do not react. And this is a very important mantra to reflect on and also practice in the new year. In life, what happens is 10% of the things happen to us. But what causes us problems is 90% of the time the way we react to it. So wouldn't it be wonderful to smile when the other party or someone wants to be offended, wants you to be offended? So this is my story. When I got admission into Stanley Medical College as a teenager, reverse discrimination was the rule of the day. And what does that mean? In India, the caste system is alive and well. And reverse discrimination meant that the students belonging to the highest caste, which is the Brahmin caste, would be severely discriminated, and the admission into medical school would be severely curtailed regardless of how much they scored in the university exam or in the qualifying exam. So I myself belong to the highest caste. I am a Brahmin, and on our application we have to write that. It is not illegal in my country in that time and even today. So I had to write that, and yes, I stood first at the university exam, and I did stand first in the qualifying exam, but my father said to me that your chances of getting admission into medical school are very nil because you belong to the wrong caste. But nevertheless, I prayed, and the divine answered my prayers, and I got admission into medical school. Stanley Medical College, I could not find any pictures of the medical school because everything has changed so much, and I didn't want to show you a picture that is not what I have in my memory. Stanley Medical College is probably one of the most prestigious universities, very well recognized in the United States and anywhere, actually Singapore, Malaysia, etc. It has high standards, and it is a beautiful campus located on the coast, on the Bay of Bengal. It has a sprawling campus with fruit-laden trees, coconut palms, flowering jasmines, hibiscus, and in between we have these beautiful red-colored buildings, and each one of this building denotes a specific department, which is either anatomy, physiology, pathology, microbiology, public health, etc. Opposite the medical school, we have the 2,000-bed university hospital, which is probably one of the finest in India even today. And a short walk from the park, which is just next to the medical college, is the maternity hospital of 2,500 beds. I have not seen a single maternity hospital as large as that in the United States. In my class, that particular year, there were about 120 students admitted. There were 100 plus boys, 13 girls, and there were about 6 to 7 Brahmin students. I'm just telling you something because this is an important message for everyone because it exists even today. Our theater, our classrooms were like a movie theater. The front rows, the girls used to sit there, and as the steps were ascended up, the boys would sit up. In the front, we had a large podium, and the professor would stand on the podium and give the lecture, and behind the podium, we had a screen to project the images or to project a movie or whatever he needed to project. I can never forget my first class in neuroanatomy, and it was on a hot August afternoon, but thankfully it was on a Friday, and it was the last class of the day. The professor of neuroanatomy was Dr. Asghar Ali. He was a brilliant neuroanatomist who has written lots of papers, and he really intimidated staff and students with his brilliance. Most of the senior lecturers and students would attend his classes because there was always a pearl to gain from any one of those classes. Dr. Asghar Ali walked into our class. He is a distinguished personality, And he knows that. He has tremendous self-confidence. And he stands, and there was a palpable hush as soon as he entered and stood on the podium. He introduced himself to all of us, and then he looked straight at me, and he said, Rajshri Rao, stand up. Rao is my father's surname. I was wearing an outfit which is very similar to what I'm wearing on today. I wore the same color so that I would play the role better. I also had a plumeria flower in my hair, but in that case it was a real plumeria. This is a fake one. But I just wanted you people to have some idea. But I was so young. I was 17 years old. I was scared when this man said, Rajshri Rao, stand up. I did not know what he wants to tell me. And then very sarcastically, he looked at me and he said, Rajshri, you got admission into medical school because you are Raja's daughter, and Raja is the head of the airline industry. He further went on to sarcastically tell me that the only reason you're in medical school is to show off your fashionable clothes and to strut along like a peacock and want to be the center of attention. So, I want all of you to know once again that I was the student who stood first in the university exam. I stood first in the qualifying exam. And when this man was making these hurtful comments to me in front of all my professors and students and boys and seniors,